Here we go. This one's better. Hey, I'm Luis.
Nah, I'm Luis.
And you're listening to the Content is Profit podcast,
where we talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, and of course, how to turn your content into profit.
That's right. And most importantly, we're here to have a good time with you. So go to contentsprofit.com to get started today and join the community.
Woo-wee.
Welcome, Fonzie. What's up, man? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Appreciate it.
Good things are happening. Good things are coming.
Yeah.
Especially in today's episode.
Momentum is coming along.
Yeah.
You know what else is coming along?
What's coming along?
A haircut.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we need a haircut.
We need a
really
haircut.
bad. The other day we were trying to take some pictures and it was ridiculous.
Not happening. Is it because we love our hats, man? And we every time I put my hats on, it's good luck charms, and gotta happen. Anyways, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about investing in Web3 and the evolution of content. How does content look in Web3?
Oh, that's
a question I've been asking myself a lot. I've been trying to figure it out. So I guess today we're looking for some answers.
More importantly, how do you connect that content into some mana, some moolah?
All right, let's figure that out today. But before, do we have a sponsor?
Absolutely, guys. If you want daily content coming out, connecting with profit in your business, please reach out at BIZBROS. There's a framework that we put in place in the last 2 years that have been like killing it for us and the people that we help, and we cannot wait to help you. So go ahead at BIZBROS or contentsprofit.com. Just come join.
How about those turntables right there? I flipped it on you.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I flipped the whole script on you.
That was beautiful.
Guys, if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to follow us at BIZBROS on Facebook, on Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe and follow Content is Profit in your favorite podcasting platform, because every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we are dropping all new episodes for you to learn, grow, and share it with your friends.
That's right. And if these episodes are giving you any kind of value, please go ahead and share it with your loved ones, at least with 3 people. Go ahead, hit the share button right now. That's right. So, ready?
Yep.
Right. We're back, baby. And our guest is back as well. That's right. Today's guest was here on episode 189.
Oh, yeah. He's a total trailblazer on what the pop culture calls is a total baller, guys. He has started and bootstrapped a few companies to 8 figures, and now he's about to go to the moon as the CEO of NFT Tech, which might or might not, we don't know, be going public. Ooh.
To the moon, baby. I hope you are ready to dive into this new world, Web3. And discover with us what it will be like, what is the role of content and how you'll be able to leverage.
That is right. Please welcome CEO of NFT Tech, the bachata master himself, Mario Nawfal. Let's go, Mario.
What's up, guys? What's up? Can you hear me okay? Is it echoey or is it fine?
We're
It's
good.
fine. You good.
I know that.
Cool, guys. Good to see you again. You remember the bachata? That's why I'm in Morocco. I told you I'm in Morocco for 3 days. Dancing bachata, guys. Dancing bachata.
Really? Dude, I would have never thought there was like a bachata competition in Morocco.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You have to share the results, and you have to share some of the content that you guys put out there.
Yeah, we did it. We did a beautiful clip in Dubai. So we got like a bunch of nice cars. We went to the desert and we did a clip with one of the biggest DJs in bachata, like drones and stuff. It looks like a pure video clip, music clip. It was insane. So I'll see if I can do one in Morocco. I'll send it out to you guys.
Yes, we want to see that for sure. Is that out? Is that in like post-production right now? Where can we expect that? When is that launch?
Production is done. Now it's the promotion before they launch. You know how music, they want to promote, hype it up before they launch it. Now it's in the hype phase. But you know how content works. You got to drip feed it before the main event. You got to make squeeze that content distribution, have a lot of pieces of content from that one main video clip.
Yes.
So we're going through that process now.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. And that is something that like stood out to me last conversation we had. Something I really, really like about you, man, is that you treat also this, hobby, a passion, right, with the same purpose that you treat your business, right? You're creating content around it. You really want to show yourself like, hey, this is who I am. I want to put myself out there. And I absolutely love that, man, because a lot of people are just like, either I use my content for my business or I fully use my content for recreational purposes. But I feel like you found a good mix on branding yourself, right? I mean, that's the job of the CEO at the end of the day. You're putting your image out there. You are the image of the company. And I love it the same way how you like represent this and put your values and the quality on the content as well. So I can tell you have some comments about that.
Yeah, I think anyone not journaling or sharing or filming their journey and whatever their hobby is, you're missing out. Like if it's bird watching, film the different birds. And I'm talking about bird watching because I have a place in Dubai now. We get a lot of birds, a lot around it, and I want to get like the binoculars to start watching them. It's not my passion, but it's like a way to relax. And if you're a bird watcher, share the different birds. If you're kayaking, share. My uncle loves to scuba dive around the world. He's got insane stories. Like once he saw sharks, once he saw like an old ship. Like, and he scuba dived insane hours all his life, most of his life. And I'm like, oh, cool. Do you have any videos? He's never filmed it. I'm like, man, you're missing out. At the same time, I don't like scuba diving. I find it boring. Yet I watch. There's videos on Instagram. I'm sure they posted on TikTok too, on Instagram Reels of scuba divers that film their journey scuba diving. It's like very quick. I found this, like random things. I found this interesting fish. I tried to pet it. It ran away. I found this little rubbish. I tried to take it out. I found a gun and I called the cops. Wait till the next episode to see what happens. Like 3-minute videos. And they're getting insane views. So honestly, if you're not journaling your hobby, why not? Why not have an audience watching you enjoy what you love doing?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a friend that does spearfishing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the way he's going. He's like, oh, dude, let me document spearfishing, my adventures. And I was like, dude, absolutely. Even if I'm not into spearfishing, that sounds so cool,
Yeah, shout out to Carlos, man. He was like in New York in the stock exchange in the mix of all, and he's like, I am done with this life. I am gonna go move to Florida and document spearfishing. And he's been, I think he's been planning some retreats and doing great. So shout out Carlos, man. We love you. And stories like that, especially for business owners and things like, I remember having a conversation with this woman that had like a flower business, and they were trying to figure out like how to create content to sell flowers, right? Floor. Wow, I said it in Spanish. Spanglish over here is strong. And they have awesome stories of people that come into the stores and these like beautiful arrangements and stories behind the things, and he's documenting those things that are going to set you apart. So Mario, obviously, thank you. And, last time you were here, you were based in Dubai. Now you're in Morocco, obviously. Tell us a little bit on what were you able to build to be able to like live the life that you live now, right? Because a lot of business owners out there, I remember we talked about the pebbles, right? Hitting the pebbles and having that security blanket of your job maybe, right? And that's okay in certain aspects. So since we talked in episode 189, what have you continued to do, especially in this Web3 new world that has been coming out? I think you have a bunch of exciting projects there. So what are these pebbles that you continue to like launch into the market? And what's been hitting?
So I'm glad you remember this, because I mean, if anyone, if you don't have to watch my last episode. Just Google the pebbles and cannonball approach on testing different things for the listeners, on testing different things and then doubling down on what works. Well, we had a pebble land on an incredible target in the last few months. Now, I've been traveling for years. I've been traveling nonstop for 6-7 years. And after we spoke, I went on a tour, speaking at different events. I literally was speaking at an event every 3 days. I was on a plane every 2 days for 2 months. So it's not always, I don't always enjoy traveling that much. But when it's per charter, I don't mind it. But in terms of the what got me here, and especially in the last, recent pebble, well, there's one pebble that hit really well. And I've been in crypto for a long time, not long, but I've been in crypto since 2017. And one of my companies threw a pebble. And it was incredible. Like the returns, and then we just doubled down when it worked. But the returns were insane. Like there was a massive hype around what's called IDOs, initial DEX offerings, which are projects that launch a token. And there was a period of time for like 3 months where over 95% of projects launching, there's like 5 to 10 a day. Over 95% of projects that were launching were doing a 10x or more. That means if you put in $10,000, you get $100,000 or more out of 95% of projects. It was insane. Now, you don't get all of it out. You get like part of it, and then the rest you get distributed slowly, not traditional VC, but similar. But still, like, it was insane. You put in 50K, you get 50K out, and the rest you let it ride for profit. For an investor, these are insane returns. So we just went crazy on this, doubled down, and it was an insane few months, and it's still getting better. Now the returns are back to normal. You know, like you have maybe 10% of projects that do a 10x or more, less, 5 to 10%, which is more normal. But we doubled down heavily when it was doing really well, and now we're positioned in a really strong place where, you know, we incubate a lot of these crypto projects. We had a project launched 3 days ago, 4 days ago now, that we incubated. It's one of the most successful launches in crypto. So I'm having an incredible 12 months. And, you know, with NFT Tech, the other company I co-founded and I'm leading right now, that's where my focus is. It's at the forefront of this as well. It's incubating projects. And as we said earlier, we're working to go public on the stock market very soon. That's our plan.
Congrats.
And that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, dude,
hopefully I don't get sick of it and go speed fishing like your friend.
No, but look, like we have obviously the people that are, you know, maybe including us, right? Like we're no experts in this field of crypto Web3, like many others, researching and learning a ton. So like, what's like crypto and like NFTs one-on-one, like based on what you guys experience, right? For those that might be like beginning their journey in this new world, which we believe it's gonna be like the new standard, like moving forward, right? Like what's something like really important that everybody needs to understand when trying to understand this world?
Okay, so what's really important for people to just understand it. It's insane how many people don't understand what Web3 means, or what the Metaverse means, or what NFTs mean. And just understanding them, you're ahead of many people within crypto. I'll give you examples, and I think this will be very interesting for anyone listening. I'll give you not examples, but I'll give you some definition. NFTs. When I say NFTs, most people have heard of NFTs. And when I say NFTs, most people relate it to collectibles and, you know, digital art. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. Genuinely, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's like saying, okay, do you guys own any art, like expensive art?
If you count Legos as expensive art, absolutely.
I mean, look at this masterpiece behind us. Come on.
Oh man, look at over there. Yeah, my Ferrari over here. But no. There we go. No, not expensive. Probably in the terms that you've defined expensive.
Yeah. So, and do you collect like coins or stamps or anything?
I actually own a couple NFTs. If we can go there.
Now let's move away from NFTs. Outside of NFTs, any physical coins or stamps?
No, we were never
we don't really collect.
We were never like collectors on that sense, but we're familiar with it. Like we know people that do it.
No, but I'm glad you don't. Me neither. So that's the point I was trying to make. But do you own a phone?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you own a car? Likely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You own clothes. You own the mics. You own these things. Okay. Now, in the physical world, collectibles and art represent a very small percentage of what humans own in general. Very small percentage of the economy, relatively insignificant to real estate, cars, fashion, etc., electronics and all that. Well, funny enough, NFTs are not collectibles, are not digital art. That's not what they mean. NFTs are simply digital ownership. It's the concept of ownership. Now it's technologically possible on the web. Before 2017, you couldn't own anything digital. Yeah. You couldn't. You might say, okay, Mario, hold on. If I post something on Instagram, it's mine. If I post a video, it's mine. My emails are mine. No, emails are owned by Google if you use Gmail. And Gmail, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You're perfect, my man.
Yeah, and Gmail says those emails are yours. If Gmail blocks your account, they're gone.
Yeah.
You can't move those emails from Gmail to Hotmail to whatever. They're in Gmail. They're gonna stay there. Your video on YouTube says you own it. If you broke someone's copyright, they can remove it. You don't you can own that video. You can't move it around. It's on YouTube's platform. You can post it on other platforms, and then those platforms own it. Your photos are owned by Instagram. And then banks controlled your money online. The money was within the bank, and the bank said you own that money. If you send it to someone else, they have centralized technological processes and systems built to move that money from one place to another and ownership from one place to another. Because without that, you can't have it like in the physical world. I can give you cash, you take the cash, it's yours. There's no bank in the middle that says, okay, this cash has moved from this hand to this hand. Don't need that, because physics allows you to give an object to another person, but that wasn't possible on the web. Now it's possible. What I mean by this is NFTs, non-fungible tokens, allow you to own something, whether it's collectible, whether it's art, whether it's a spaceship in a game, whether it's your identity, whatever it is, you can actually own it in the web. It's technologically possible. You don't need any central entity that says you own it. And you know what I mean? Like, you have things in your wallet, they're yours. No one can, if you lose your private key, they're gone. Why? Because no one owns them. No one can take them away from you. Even if you copied something that is copyrighted, you can copy whatever you want because you own them. It's like you drawing Elvis Presley on a piece of paper and putting it in your pocket. You're drawing Mona Lisa and putting it in your pocket. So now you can own things on the web. So if you think of it this way, collectibles represent a very small percentage of what we own in the physical world. Well, the same is going to apply in the web. Collectibles are going to represent a very small percentage of what we own in the web.
Yeah.
And then someone will be like, okay, Mario, and especially entrepreneurs right now, and then we'll move to content. Okay, Mario, what does that really mean? What else can I own? You can own digital real estate on various metaverses that we'll touch on later. You can own assets within a game, but you actually own them and move them from one game to another. Like right now, gamers, if they have assets with a game, it's the game that owns them. If the game goes bankrupt, all your assets are gone. I'm not sure if you guys are gamers. I'm not, but I know how it works. If someone owns asset, the game goes bankrupt, they're gone.
Yeah.
Or the game bans their account, they're gone. Now that's no longer the case. You own things on the web, and you can move around from different metaverses, different games. You can own your identity. You can own, as I said, real estate. You can own digital, financial instruments. You just look at the physical world, look what you own in the physical world, and see how you can be replicated in the digital world. And people are doing that.
Yeah.
So now that you understand the concept of NFTs, you understand that it's a lot bigger than the art and collectible hype we're seeing now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree that there was a huge trend with the collectibles and all that stuff coming out. Like all the NBA. I don't even remember what was the name. But all the NBA moments that started
NBA
selling.
Top Shot.
Yeah, those that started selling for thousands and thousands. What I do, kind of like devil's advocate here on my end, is the practicality of some of those things, right? Like, I do understand, obviously, on the sense of like, I want to own the collectible of this moment in history, right? Like, we're huge soccer fans, right? So let's say final of the Champions League, a collectible on that would be absolutely amazing to have, right? You are the owner of that moment in the web. That would be absolutely cool. But now, practicality on like virtual real estate, for example, like is difficult to see. Why would somebody like to own a house on the metaverse, and what's stopping somebody else from building a different metaverse with
Great question.
a bunch of other houses, and then you're competing probably for the audience to see which one has more value and whatnot? I'm guessing because it's probably it's still based as regular market on demand and supply, right? Like, the more demand you have, the more expensive it's going to be, all that stuff, right?
Okay, so you know how you can post photos on Instagram? Let's say there's an Instagram account that posts images of animals, let's say National Geographic. Why can't someone create the same account and post the same stuff or similar stuff? It's not too hard finding those images. Let's say something's not hard. On a new Instagram account, why is National Geographic worth something, but a brand new account with the same photos is worth nothing? Yeah. The answer is very simple. The same reason a website like Facebook.com, if I create a website called bodybook.com instead of face up or body, bodybook.com or facialbook.com, and I put all the same features. I copy Facebook. Copying a website is not that hard anymore. Facebook is a bit more complex, but I copy it. Or I look at a news website and I copy it. Why is my website worth nothing and the other one is worth millions or hundreds of millions or tens of millions or billions? Very simple. Adoption. How many people are using it? Let me say, anyone can create a metaverse the same way anyone can create a website. Doesn't mean that many people will use it. What gives value to a metaverse? Adoption. What gives value to real estate? Location. Are you in New York? Or are you in some desert in Morocco that no one cares about? If you build the same building in both places, the value will be astronomically different because one has a lot of people. If you create two different websites, one has 1 million visitors a week, one has nothing, you can guess where the value is. So if you have two metaverses, both identical, both with the same real estate, actually you have one crap one and one good metaverse. Let's say the good metaverse is empty because for some reason they didn't do good promotion, no one's using it, and the crappy metaverse, it's got millions of people using it. Where will the real estate be worth more? The practical one, because you're going to have more traffic, you're going to have more people visiting it.
Yep.
So the same way anyone can create a website, anyone can create a metaverse. What gives it value is not the metaverse itself, it's humans, it's adoption.
Yeah, I love this. I think it's so interesting. I think like the next few years is going to be insane in many ways. Also, I think there's a lot of opportunity for creators now, like the transition where, you know, you mentioned earlier, when you put your work out there currently outside of the metaverse, right? You might not be the owner of that, whether that's email, whether that's content, whether that's your show, whether that's those videos, right? Those things that we put out consistently out there. And now in places like this, you can own all of that. You can own the digital location where you host something like what we're doing now. We talk about the concept of a platform, right? Like, how do you bring people into your platform? I think there's a lot there to say when it comes to events, promotion, rollout with brands, your own, you know, content platforms. I think like we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg on stuff like that. What is your take for content creators, people or creators in general, right? That they can now diversify a little bit the way that they do things. I think there's going to be a lot of creative ways on how we see people and companies executing on something like this. Like, what's your take? What have you seen so far in when it relates to that?
There's a few ways an entrepreneur can look at this. So first is the concept of the metaverse. So people are dying to understand it. I'm talking about things that for me are very normal. Like if I define to you the metaverse, which I can do later, most people will be fascinated. If I define YouTube, no one's going to care because everyone knows about it. Not many people know about the metaverse. So just educating people about the space, which is a lowest and easiest hanging fruit, is a good starting point for content creators. But for content creators looking at this Web3, and what is Web3? You know, Web2 is two-way communication, interaction. That's Web2 that we've all lived within. Web3 is ownership, being able to own, various assets on the web. That's what Web3 is: owning your audience, owning your content, owning your assets. Now, why is that exciting for content creators? Well, just start to imagine about owning. Like actually owning a video you post, not the platform itself owning it. That means you're free to monetize it however you like. You're free to keep the majority, if not all, the returns that you get from that content. So there's a platform called DSO, Decentralized Social. It's like a decentralized version of Twitter. And you know, we're pretty big investors in that platform. And on that platform, if you can turn your content, you can post a video, and then you can turn that video into an NFT, and then people can buy the video that you posted, and then your video goes away from your page, it goes to their page, because now they own that video. They own the views, they own everything within it. It's built into the platform. So it's giving new ways to monetize your content, like turning it into an NFT to be able to sell it. So now you can actually sell your content in a very seamless way, and you can own your audience without giving a big cut to a middle party, to a third party like YouTube, like Instagram, like Facebook. So these are the two interesting ways to look at the Web3 and how you can capitalize on it. Probably the third thing is there's going to be gradually over time, it's too early now, there's going to be audience shifting there. The same way we've had an audience shift to YouTube in the early days when everyone was laughing at it. You know, there was a small audience there on Twitter. And then adopting that audience, starting to post content there, positions you to be able to be an early adopter, grow as adoption grows within that metaverse, whatever Web3 platform that ends up gaining traction. So these are the three things I look at: educating people in the space within Web2, so Web2 content. Number two, starting to look at how you can monetize your content in different ways, because that's going to shift massively. And then number three is just starting to distribute your content on those Web3 platforms to reach that audience.
Yeah. I find this very, very interesting too. I think there's a lot of opportunities, something that you mentioned before. Might have gone a little bit under the radar, right? But you were talking about, when you were talking about the value of these metaverses, right? Like adoption. Now, how do we get people to adopt these platforms? And you mentioned, one might have done a pretty crappy job at promoting their metaverse, right? How do you promote? There's a lot of mediums, there's lots of channels, and I think that that's an opportunity right there for creators, right? Because you can potentially partner with some of these people that are putting these projects together, right? And you can start creating content for them, helping them promote them X, Y, and Z, and be an early adopter on the platform. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure you can get a cut of whatever it is that they're going to be making. I don't know how you guys are structuring deals in that thing, right? But I think it's a pretty big opportunity. For example, I saw on your page, right, and in your nfttech.com, one of the projects that I think you guys are investing, you guys are pretty big in P2E, which is play to earn, if I'm not mistaken. And
very big,
one
very
is
big.
Axie Infinity, right? Which I heard a lot. I actually heard lots of things about this game. We actually had some close friends that they were trying to kind of like start a, I don't know if this is the right term, but like a player farm where they would have like a bunch of people just playing this game and like yielding token and all that stuff. And I was looking at a video of the gameplay because I was like, oh, cool. I like playing games. So I was like, let me see what it looks like. Honestly, I was like, it doesn't look that interesting, but just the fact that people can make money, people can make money doing this, I see how attractive it is. And imagine if you were one of the first ones that started live streaming about this game, right? And you become huge promoting this thing, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the company might reach out to you and be like, awesome, let's do a deal with this stuff. And not just that, like you being one of the pioneers, right? Early adopters into the game. You're educating, just what you said right now, right? And now you're monetizing. You can take that content and probably monetize somewhere else. I think there's a lot of opportunities, but seeing it as from the marketing point of view, you can partner with so many of these companies, or even so many of these like not just the companies that are starting the games, but the companies that are investing, right? Like, for example, you guys, right? That you probably are looking to educate people as well. And yeah, again, there's a lot of opportunity in there that I see, and I might be having a difficult time vocalizing this thing, but
you mentioned two interesting things. The first one is, what brings value to a metaverse is adoption. So how can content creators partner with a metaverse to bring it value? So I had a whole speech that I've done in a few countries about what brings value to NFTs, which I talk about NFT art and collectibles and then metaverses. And the answer is the same. It's the story. So community is what brings it value, but how do you build a community? Well, communities rally around stories. If if I go upstairs and I show you some pieces of art in this house, they got each piece of art was, I'm staying there's a few investors here living in this place, and these investors love to spend a ton of money on art. So if I went to them and I did this exercise, I'm like, hey, why do you like that piece of art? They started telling me the story behind it. They told me the story about other pieces of art. And I use that example to explain to them what brings value to NFTs and the metaverse. It's the story behind them. So, CryptoPunks has a story, Bored Apes has a story, Bitcoin has a story, disrupting the financial system back in 2008. That was their initial story, and the story matures. So when you start working with the metaverse, what is their story? What do they stand for? Each metaverse has a story, because many metaverses are starting as a game. There's one metaverse called Sidus Heroes that we're invested in, or another metaverse called Blocktopia that we're invested in. Let me use Sidus Heroes as an example. Sidus Heroes' story is about a galaxy that people could, go to new planets and explore those planets, build societies, communities. They have politics in there where you can vote for your minister, your prime minister, your president, etc., your board and all that. So that story is the story that scientists built, and they want to build a community around it, and they built a massive community now growing really quickly. So as a content creator, when you partner with those metaverses that are launching, tell them what is your story and start creating content around that story. Because to build communities, it's all about the content you create. So that's the first point you mentioned, which is interesting, which is a good opportunity for entrepreneurs. Now, the other point that you mentioned is play to earn games. That one's fascinating, and then we call them player farms, which is a funny way, a funny term to use, which we used in the early days. Now they're called guilds, which the concept existed in gaming for a long time. Play to earn guilds, and now it's shifting to play and earn, which goes back to your point where you said that the games are shit. Yes, they are shit because they've just started. It's very early. It's very hard to build good games on a decentralized blockchain. Speed is difficult. And being able to build game mechanics, incorporating NFTs and Web3 in a game, that's a very new concept. So it's more complicated to create games with those mechanics and on the blockchain. So they started pretty crap. And the only reason people were playing them was not purely. Initially, it was purely to make money. Then people started playing them because they enjoy it. They like socializing. They like catching up with friends. And then it moved from play to earn to play and earn. So you play a game to earn, but also to socialize, to signal, to enjoy other aspects that we enjoy in our everyday life. So the game is becoming closer and closer to life, or the game of life that we all live every day. So guilds, what they do is explain the concept of guilds. I think anyone listening, is a great opportunity for you. I think this is probably one of the most exciting things within the space, and we have a guild at NFT Tech called GOAT Guild. So guilds are essentially a way for people that don't have a lot of money to play those games, because to play those games you need to buy the assets. In Axie Infinity, you need to buy Axies, which cost a few $100s or a few $1,000s. Now it's I think a few $100s. To play Sidus Heroes, you need to buy a spaceship. You can to buy a spaceship, buy weapons, buy a character, and all that. So many people can't afford it. So guilds like our guild, GOAT Guild, offers finance for these players. And now they have money, they buy the assets, they play the game, and the profits are split between the guild, which is like a financial institution now offering loans, and the players. Now, why is that exciting? Well, not only are they growing in the gaming space, but as games evolve more, and metaverses evolve more to represent, a digital representation of our life, many people can go to events in the metaverse, could build businesses, could socialize, could go clubbing, could date, could all do all the things that we do in the physical world, but do it in a virtual world. And guilds instead of becoming financial institutions for gamers to be able to buy and use those assets, now they're a bank for anyone using the metaverse. Now they're offering financing for anyone building a business. Anyone that wants to create content, wants to run an event. You go to a guild to get the money to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do in the metaverse. Maybe just buy clothes and show off. You get a loan for that, all on the blockchain, all decentralized. Guilds could become educational platform, teaching gamers how to play a game, but also teaching people how to build a business in the metaverse, how to operate within the metaverse. So the guilds are becoming like a portal to the metaverse, something extremely exciting. And for content creators listening to me right now, I would look at partnering with some of those guilds. Reach out to me. GOAT Guild is our guild. GOAT is, we're the GOAT. GOAT Guild. We're looking for content creators, especially people that understand gaming, because now it's, in the early stages, it's going to be mainly focused on gaming before it expands into more. We're looking for content creators to create content for our guild, for gamers, because we see our guild beyond just a platform offering finance, but more of an educational platform. And for education, education is all about content.
Wow.
Interesting. So I have a few questions regarding like NFT tech, right? Just to like help people understand better, honestly, help myself understand a little bit better too, right? You just said you guys are acting in a sense as well as like a financial institution where you guys are like providing these loans, right? To, for example, the guilds. And then you guys are obviously getting some interest from it. So are you guys kind of like a Republic.co where is some sort of crowdfunding for the metaverse and stuff like that, or how does it look like? What is it exactly, NFT tech?
Yeah, you know what you're talking about, man. Republic, respect.
We had Chuck Pettit here on the show.
Oh, sick! Yeah, Republic is sick. I love the platform. I love the guys here. So we know him well. I know him well. Oh, not me personally. The team knows him well. So give him a shout out. Tell him NFT Tech gives you a shout out. Yeah, absolutely. I love Republic, and it's similar. So the advantage that we have is that we're planning to go on the stock market. So we're going to do a lot of the same things as Republic, and I'll explain that to the audience. But for people that want to enter the space, they don't know how to enter the space. They don't know how to buy those assets, what to buy, where to spend money. It's very easy to get scammed. It's very easy to have FOMO, fear of missing out, and put in money following the crowd, and then people dump on you, people sell on you, people inside. It's very hard to get access early to deals. Private deals are impossible for the retail investor to access. So that's where we come in. We get all that access. And then, if people buy our shares on the stock market, they'll have exposure to the access we get. So in other words, we're kind of democratizing, we're giving access to retail investors to the NFT and the metaverse space. That's what NFT tech does. So similar to Republic, we invest in a lot of projects privately. That's one. We incubate projects. I don't think they incubate projects. So we incubate projects. They come in, they have an idea, they have a team, they've raised a bit of money, but they want to take it to the next level. So accelerate, incubate, it depends. So we build those businesses. And number three, we have our own guild. I don't think Republic has their own guild, as far as I know, unless they have it recently. But we have our own guild called Gold Guild, which I explain what that is. We launch other businesses as well. Number four, we launch other products and businesses within the space. And back to number one, which is the most important one, is that we invest a lot. So we invest privately. We buy land in the metaverse, which Republic does. We buy metaverse assets. Not much, we buy NFTs, but not a lot of digital art and collectibles. We think it's too hyped up right now. But we're really, really, really damn bullish on metaverse NFTs or metaverse assets, because they have use case. A collectible, it looks nice, looks sexy, great. But if you buy a spaceship on Sidus, you can build a whole business with that spaceship, go to a new planet, start mining, start building your empire. People come into play, people pay you to play. So you literally build your own city, your own world. So it's like the amount of money that's going to be made in the metaverse is going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be the next billionaires.
There's a big... okay, crazy. By the way, I'm with you.
This blows my mind. And I think we're thinking of very similar thoughts right now.
I'm with you. Like, I'm all in this thing. Like, I think the opportunity there is massive, but I'm sure there's people listening right now. It's like, what are these like guys talking about? This is insane. Like, are you going to build your own universe? Are you going to go to another planet? What the heck? Like, guys, so what would you say to the people that are like, holy crap, like this is insane.
Let me
You're gonna love my answer.
Let me phrase that question real quick, kind of like rephrase it a little bit too.
Yeah,
in the sense of, this sounds very like Ready Player One. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie. So obviously, for those that are not familiar, go watch the movie or read the book. It's absolutely amazing. It's a lot of fun. But pretty much people live in there. The whole economy, it's in there. Like, they make money in the metaverse, right? And if you see reality, it's kind of a little bit apocalyptic, right? It's you see the real world and it's like all teared down and stuff like that. So this is where I feel like I was going to, right? Some people might be thinking, okay, if the whole economy is going into this metaverse, right? Which is, you can say, it is not real, and I'm doing like big air quotes in here. It is very much very real. It's happening, but it's not like tangible in your hands, or you're not growing crops in real world that then you can use to, eat and fuel a whole society. Like, what's going to happen with real life, right? If a lot of people are just diving into this stuff and building a life inside the metaverse.
You're too late. For hundreds of years, interviews were done face to face on a stage, in theaters, etc. When was the last face-to-face interview you guys did?
A few months ago, probably. I don't know.
I don't even remember. More than a year, for sure. Yeah, more than a year.
We're in the metaverse right now. And metaverse is not Ready Player One yet. It's gonna get there. It's more better experience. But I have 3 pairs of AirPods. There's one here. There's another one here. And there's one more upstairs. Always with me wherever I am in the world, because I'm always tuned in. Instagram filters are the new makeup. YouTube is the new entertainment. Zoom is the new platform to do, boardroom meetings. We're already living in a digital world. Just the experience isn't that immersive yet, but it's getting more immersive year after year. If you've tried Oculus, the goggles, you know what I'm talking about. People are dating online. People are seeing their loved ones online, especially through COVID, is a perfect example of that. Where what we consider real is a very subjective term, because to you and to me, maybe, because I'm not in the metaverse, this is more real. I'm a dancer, so you can't dance in the metaverse, at least not yet, and you'll see what I mean. But for the younger generation, and they're always the early adopters. Their brain is learning. That's why they're early adopters. They're designed to adopt new things, to learn new things. For them, they look at you weird when you say that metaverse is not real. I mean, what do you mean I'm real? I talk to real people. The son of the investor I'm staying with, he's like, my son dated a girl and broke up with her. All on the metaverse. Met her on the metaverse, on Roblox. Roblox has a currency. That currency, a few days ago, 3 days ago, I read an article, it's worth more than the ruble, the Russian currency now. And it's in the early stages. So, and there's hundreds of millions of people that spend hours a day on Roblox, which is one of the bigger metaverses, centralized metaverse. And they're not even that interesting yet. They're freaking boring. And already people are spending hours and hours on them. Gaming is blowing up. How funny, years ago, people would say gaming is going to be, esports tournaments will be bigger than baseball tournaments or football tournaments, etc. Already there. It's the biggest sport right now, or almost the biggest sport. That would have been laughable probably laughable for us. I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
But it's not for gamers. It makes sense. So what is real? Well, talking to other people is real. Now, if you're talking to them face to face, that's not real. That's physical. Digital and physical. What we're moving is not from real to not real. We're moving from physical to digital, as well as a hybrid. But when you watch Ready Player One, it looks like a pretty damn good experience. Now, it will scare us because we're humans. Humans are designed as a survival instinct to always be, worried about change. People, the world's gonna come to, and there's gonna be horrible under the internet with Instagram. Yeah. Well, I love my life. I love my life being on WhatsApp all the time. I love my life being able to meet anyone in the world without meeting them in person. I love that I can work at home butt naked, having my calls without having to go to the office and dress up with a suit. I love that I can close deals on the phone. I love that. I enjoy that. But there's times where you might enjoy the physical experience of dancing with someone or shaking your hand, then do it. And eventually, when technology, when haptics and all that start to develop, the experience of the metaverse will become a lot more real. Again, inverted commas, will become more similar to the physical world, and will become almost physical, where now you can, already you can wear gloves that allow you to feel touch.
Yeah.
That allow you to feel smell. And as they get more complex, you can actually dance with a girl and feel, because I'm imagining Bachata, and feel like you're dancing that girl. Obviously, it's going to take a long time to get there. And I'm sure that by the time that happens, and I start doing it, I'm going to enjoy it, and it's going to become normal for me, because I don't have to dress up and all that to go to a party with loud music, wait to dance with a girl, and I have to travel to a new country to dance. I can just do it all digitally. And if the experience is the same, then it's what we call real. Because I'm sure you guys are real and we're speaking on Zoom, which can be considered as a Web2 metaverse. And where the hype is now is Web3 metaverse, where you can technically and technologically own things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of information for everyone. This episode's probably worth listening to again to really understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because if you can go back to 1995 and 1998 and listen to an episode of someone explaining the internet, I'm sure you'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this. It was amazing.
But this was so cool to dive in, and we'll be definitely exploring a little bit more.
Yeah. So something that stood out to me real quick. Something that stood out to me from what you just said.
Can you let me talk?
Yeah, all right, cool. You go. I've talked a lot today.
I just see a lot of opportunity here for a lot of people, right? Like, this is like a brand new, wide open world that everybody with whatever taste, whatever preference they got, there's something in there for them. And especially like if you need to create, right? Like we lean hard into frameworks on like how can you as an individual can create. Doesn't matter the vehicle, right? Like, because right now we have like you mentioned, like this experience in Web2, like the podcast or the platform, right? But the platform can change, and it will change, and it will evolve with everything that we've talked about today. So you as a creator, how can you take advantage of that? How can you like make yourself an asset? How can you create and partner with these companies, with these new platforms, to make sure that you can continuously do what you love, which is create? So I think all I see is opportunity, and that was like my final reflection, Fonzie, before we head out. I don't know, you had something else?
Yeah, my something that really stood out to me is kind of like that change of perspective that is like not real and real, but going from physical to digital, but it's still very much real in both, right? Now, that being said, a side of me still obviously thinking that it thinks in a little apocalyptic way, right? You know, I've read some sci-fi books and stuff like that one, and I think a lot of people might think this way, right?
There's some people,
But
there's names for those people.
You know,
Pessimists.
Pessimist. I'm pretty much an optimist. Let me know. Hey, and I'm gonna enjoy the metaverse. Don't get me wrong. If they come up with haptics and stuff like that, I'm gonna be living in there. I'm gonna throw this out there. Whoever creates a FIFA that yields token, please let me know. I will be playing.
Hey,
there.
FIFA is in the soccer, yeah, football.
Yeah.
Check out. There's a platform we're invested in. They're doing exactly that, called Real Fever. They have a game. You can collect moments and stuff. Real Fever, FEVR. Thank me, man. They're developing exactly what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, because then I might change the career from podcaster to gamer. You know, start my own guild and all that stuff. But yeah, it really brings thoughts of, man, this is one of my all-time favorite movies, but like WALL-E, for example, right? You get the little robot, and then you got all the humans in chairs not moving, just there. You get the Matrix, right? Like all the humans plugged. You got one of my favorite cartoons, or Sword Arts Online. You got people living in virtual reality, right? And like crisis happening. There's so many things. And again, I'm nutty, right? How do we take care of our physical beings if now people are going to be obsessed with being in the digital world? Again, both are very much real, but we gotta live here.
Yeah, but hey, try using an Oculus. Do the boxing game. It's the biggest exercise you could do. There's a metaverse There's a metaverse called Kalo Run. The whole metaverse is all about exercising in the digital world.
Let's go.
We're gonna have to
Physically, you have to move.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start streaming virtual reality games.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario, this has been a pleasure, man. We're so excited. Welcome. You know, obviously Contents Profit is your home. Anytime you guys have any news, any progress, let us know. And we're breaking down here. So awesome that you were able to join us from Morocco. Anything else that you want to add? How can people connect with you? How can people find out more about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, cool. So I'm doing these podcasts to get the word out there about NFT tech. So nfttech.com. You can just ping us, learn about us. We're putting out a lot of content, and eventually, hopefully, you get exposure to the space through us. Otherwise, learn about the space, everyone. I swear, just don't let this slip. I promise you. And I'm an objective person. I own businesses outside of crypto, outside the metaverse. So even if the metaverse goes to zero, I don't really care. I'm objectively telling you, don't ignore this.
Yeah. Fonzie, anything?
No, I'm already Googling Real Fever here. Let's
go play.
Let's go dive into the metaverse.
With that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Contents Profit Podcast. Go ahead and follow the show on your favorite platform, and soon in the metaverse at BIZBROS Go.
That is right. If today's episode helped you move one step closer towards your goal, please don't forget to share this episode and leave a 5-star review. See ya.
Bye, guys.